We ready?
Are we?
Yes. Why did you get my mic? I like it beside me.
Because later, you're gonna complain again nga nagpatunga ko, I'm in the middle, and then you're in the side. So
I'm
I put you
always
in the
in the
middle.
sidelines, love.
I put you in the middle, so you won't blame me.
No, I always put you in the center of my life.
Tuo mo na, guys. Welcome to
The Sky Podcast. Guys, palagi niya ako pinapagalitan, or hindi naman pinapagalitan, but kini-criticize whenever I do a lot of technical things. But our past video, tabingi. Kasi you said, okay na yan, doesn't matter.
I mean, you can crop it right. So, easy na lang yan. Like, it doesn't have to be so perfect.
Okay.
This is because you're a perfectionist in all aspects.
I don't think
That's
I am a perfectionist. I strive for perfection.
Yeah, you're a perfectionist.
No, because, di ba, may nag-comment sa isang video na si Slater is reading all these books, is researching a lot, and how come he gets things done? Hindi ba siya nag-analysis paralysis?
Okay.
And I feel like, yeah, dati, when I was first starting to read books, you wanted everything to be perfect. So, that's something to consider. Or even when I'm setting something up, I want everything done right. But I always have something in my head na I will always execute. But iulit-ulit ko sa sarili ko.
Like, try out all the theory that you've learned.
Yes. I only read what I can apply also, which matters a lot. Like, for example, starting a new business. When I'm planning to start a new business, I read about the basics of business and then more advanced theories after. Ganyan. So, parang mas na-apply ko.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people who really struggle to start something because they overanalyze. Like, for example, okay, I want to start this new business, but shucks, I'm going to be alone. I have to hire my own people. Where do I start? What about SSS, PhilHealth? Who's going to do that for me? Where am I going to source my products? I have this really nice idea, but I don't know where to source it. Ay, wag na lang. Parang it's too many steps.
The Chinese have a saying about that.
What?
Kakagong.
Okay, what does that mean?
You read too much that you become stupid.
Okay.
Mommy will be so proud that I'm speaking Chinese.
But I don't think it's all about reading. Like, even if you don't, like, know the theory behind it, there are so many barriers to entry. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that hinder you from doing your dream because...
Yeah, but continue. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, because you're afraid. You're afraid of all these things and you don't know where to start. And starting is such a big step. You know what I mean?
It's more of taking a leap of faith. It's more of knowing that nothing is going to be perfect. You can try to be...
Wow, from the perfectionist.
Yeah, I try to be as perfect as possible, but I always make it a point to start. To keep starting. Even if it's like, for example, when I was starting my own business, parang sobrang laki na step siya. Like, the very first investment is the biggest thing. Nakakatakot. Should I buy this machine now, which costs so much? And from there's no turning back. What I notice is by taking the first irrevocable step na hindi ka na makapag-back out, it gives you a lot of momentum forward. And the things that sometimes...
It forces you to move forward.
Yes. It's parang... And the things that you worry about, for example, what about the SS? What about the PhilHealth? How do I pay my people like this? Ganyan. Parang nasusolve siya, most of it, by itself. Because you're there already. When you start your business, merong tutulong sa'yo. Oh, I know about this. Tulungan kita. There are a lot of people that actually give you the momentum and that. Ang sabi nga nila, entrepreneurship is like jumping off a cliff and then building the parachute going down.
That's funny. Yeah, sometimes it's all about taking the first step and like seeing things happen one by one, like taking it one step at a time. That happens also a lot. Like, for example, when I was studying before and there's this huge exam and I have to study like how many chapters of the book and it's quite overwhelming. Like, that's the word. It's overwhelming to think about your goals. But when you just take one small step at a time, then you'll see that it's not so overwhelming after all, because it all doesn't happen at once, right? It's one by one. You build up to it. But my question to you as an entrepreneur is, hindi ka ba na parang, kailangan ba mataas ang bilib mo sa sarili mo to start a business? Like, I'm sure you have all these questions of self-doubt, right? Like when you're starting a business, kaya ko ba to? I-invest ko ba yung buong savings ko for my business? Is this dream even viable for me?
The very first step talaga is for you to believe that you are actually the one to do it when all the others have failed.
Okay.
But you have to back up that confidence with competence.
Okay.
So
you studied.
So I studied really, really hard. And when you're saying about taking small steps, whenever someone decides to change their life, puro kasi siya, oh, I want a new car, I want a new business. Puro siya external. When what you have to do first are the small internal steps, like studying about it.
Right.
Or like when you want to, for example, look better. Puro, like, that's the external thing that you want to happen. But yung internal mo should be small steps like, oh, I'll eat less rice.
Right.
I'll start working out. Kung napansin mo, even with me, whenever I try to get back into shape like right now, it's always super small na, I'll work out like 3 times a week but very low intensity.
Right.
Para lang to
Don't
get that
keep
momentum
that
going.
pressure super high. Like, just start something.
Yes.
You know, like, that's another thing when I finally got the courage to work out again after pregnancy.
Yeah, proud of you, love.
Yeah, thank you. It took a lot of humility on my part because I used to work out a lot, especially when I was in my 20s. Like, crazy workout ako, like twice a day, everything. And when you talk about yoga, like I was always super flexible. I could do the poses and stuff like that. And syempre, after almost a year of not moving at all, just breastfeeding, parang living a very sedentary lifestyle. Tama ba yung word ko?
Sedentary thing, siguro.
Anyway, very like
Where you don't
lethargic
move.
lifestyle. Yeah. Where all I do is like think about my baby, breastfeed, like try to sleep. Parang getting back in shape took so much courage on my part and humility because syempre when you're doing the moves, hindi mo na kayang gawin yung mga moves that you could do before so easily. Diba?
Yes.
Like, I can't even reach my toes anymore. I can't, when I sit down, may masakit na. You know what I mean?
It sounds like we're getting so old.
Yeah, but it's true. But then when you said something about like it's all the external and you really have to work on the internal, I completely agree. And that's such a nice insight because a lot of the times, like, we care too much about the external. We care too much about like all these things and we don't realize that it's really working on ourselves first. It can change all of that, you know? Like, for example, I say to myself, I want to look good. I want to be pretty. I want to be sexy. And then the things that we do are like we pile on makeup. Parang superficial lahat. Like, I want to build a business, pero hindi ka naman nag-aaral. Wala namang self-work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, a lot of people think, I say, oh, I just have to have the courage to start a business and the money to do it. It's not as easy.
Like that. Yeah.
And for you to be able to lead people also, you have to work on yourself.
Yeah.
Diba? Para, like, good practice yung entrepreneurship for me personally. To work with people, to coordinate, how to motivate, how to manage.
Right.
Yeah. Pero love, when you were growing up, wala kang insecurities or were you the insecure type?
Syempre meron. Lahat naman tayo may insecurities.
I think we were more insecure when we were growing up.
Syempre.
No?
And I think if you tell yourself that what I wasn't insecure at all, you're lying. Imposible.
I was super insecure.
Yeah. Meron talaga yan and that's normal.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people listening also today have insecurities of their own. Even up to now, I have certain insecurities. But you know what? Surprisingly, it was getting pregnant and even now that really changed a lot of it. Because I feel like, maybe because of the pandemic now, and we're staying at home all the time now, parang before kasi, I'd always have to attend events, I'd always have to look good, I'd always have photo shoots, I'd always be among my peers who are also pretty, so sexy, so ganyan. So parang there was that pressure to always look good. And then, I got pregnant, and parang I had this excuse to be chubbier. I had an excuse to just stay at home. And parang now that we're staying at home, it I don't know, but it built a lot. My confidence is a lot higher.
But
I can't explain it.
the industry we're in, especially when I was in showbiz, masasabi ko talaga, grabe yung insecurities ko. Because
Why?
you're surrounded with all
Beautiful
these beautiful,
people.
talented people na kahit sa high school or kahit sa college, ako yung crush ng bayan. Sabihin lang natin, hindi naman siguro totoo. Slight lang. No, but pagdating mo dun, ABS-CBN, parang Piolo Pascual, tapos katabi mo, Enchong, sila. Okay, ang pangit-pangit ko.
Yeah.
yun yung feeling ko.
Yeah. Especially when we're younger, parang all these things that don't matter to us at all now mattered so much to us back then, no?
So much, like, it's end of the world, let's say, for example.
I have a pimple on prom night. Kill me now!
What were your insecurities? Example.
Oh, example, like, let's say when I was working and I'd have my makeup done, every time we'd have a photo shoot, somebody else would come in and do my makeup. And it always looks so different after the photo shoot. I mentioned this in a video before. Parang I wondered, bakit ba? Like, sobrang pangit ko ba na kailangan nilang ibago yung face ko? Ganon. Like, even small things like that. Or when the makeup artist would comment na, ang liit-liit ng mata mo, no? Mga ganon.
Ako, nakaka-relate ako sa ganyan.
Yeah, like even like parang to the makeup artist siguro, he's just stating a fact. You know, like there's nothing wrong with having small eyes. But ikaw, kung insecurity mo yun, parang it's a stab in the heart. You know what I mean? Like, oh, everybody's noticing it. I'm so ugly. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think even more so when I was in showbiz, I can relate even with the makeup. Kasi I wasn't like a superstar, diba? So, meron kaming makeup artist that is provided on set. Pero yung mga superstars, meron silang sarili nilang mga makeup artist. So parang, hindi ba ako worth it na hindi ko afford yung makeup artist and I have to like deal with well, hindi naman sila hindi marunong pero parang specialized talaga sila, branded yung mga makeup nila.
Yeah.
And they have the best stylist, ganyan.
Yeah. Parang we always compare, no?
Yeah, and from the outside looking in, like, Slater Young, artista na yan. Siyempre, he gets the best of the best. Pero when you're there, meron pa rin...
May levels.
Oo, may levels pa rin.
You always parang, yeah. It's in your head, I think. It's a lot of work that you have to do in our heads. Kasi before, I remember, when I was still going to Boracay all the time, partying, parang I would work out twice a day. I wouldn't eat, like super healthy lang. No dessert, no carbs, nothing. And then when I'd get to the beach, parang hindi pa ako confident to wear my bikini because of all the people around me na sobrang sexy. In my head, like, okay, I worked out for 3 months, but hindi pa rin. Parang ang pangit-pangit ko pa rin. Sige, mag-shorts na lang, mag-t-shirt na lang ako. Ganyan. And then like now, looking back, after having a baby, after everything, I look back at my old photos and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? I was so skinny. I was so parang, diba? Like sometimes you are really your own worst critic. Like it's all in your head talaga sometimes.
What it is for me is more on self-acceptance. Knowing what you're good at and knowing what you're not good at and just accepting it. Like, for example, dati, I used to get embarrassed when people would call me, nerd ka. Or geek ka. Ngayon, like, yeah, I take pride in being smart.
Right.
So it's a matter of perception.
Right.
Like
yes.
when people say when people call someone fat, like some people are actually, yeah, I'm fat and I'm happy. I don't care.
I remember when I was in high school, that was another insecurity of mine because a lot of my classmates would call me Inchi, you know, and to those of you who don't know what that means, it's like parang Chinese, but like, is it a derogatory term?
I don't know.
Din, no?
Yeah.
But parang
maybe
at
you
that time,
considered it.
parang at the time, it was insulting to me to be called that. Kasi syempre, at that time, yung mga sikat is yung mga tisay, mestiza, ganyan, diba? So parang when somebody says, oh, you're so in chick, parang, ouch, ganyan. But now, looking back, yeah, I am Chinese. This is who I am, right?
Yeah.
And it's not bad. But parang sometimes you put color into the words that other people say.
And maybe it's just about not taking everything so seriously.
Yeah.
Like being able to laugh at yourself, to laugh at your mistakes.
But sometimes, like when you're younger, that's hard, easier said than done. It's so hard, no?
Yeah, it's really really hard. Like dati naalala ko, they would call me na Babyface kasi sobrang bata yung mukha ko even when I was in high school. And for me, I felt like, oh, it's a bad thing. Okay, sige, it's a bad thing. Like everybody's considering it as a bad thing, so you accept na it is.
It's not a bad thing. Babyface is cute nga eh. Eee.
Alam ko naman
Kilig
kita.
ka ba?
Dati, a lot more things, especially when we were in high school. I feel like when all these hormones are there, when there's all these hierarchy where the cool kids are.
And you're so parang unsure about everything, no? Unsure about yourself, most especially. I think a lot of our confidence nowadays came with age because we're more wise now. And parang we can distinguish the things that matter from the things that don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when we were younger kasi wala tayong responsibilities masyado. Parang our world is so small. We're thinking of just ourselves and just how people perceive us in school. Just our grades and our friends. That's it. And so if our friends say something that offend us or parang make us feel smaller, it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
But now, because we are more mature, not older, but more mature, we have family to think of. We have our household. We have work. We have so many different things. So parang all these little things that other people say about us, parang, I don't have time to think about that. I'm still dealing with this. So parang, and you're also more confident with yourself, syempre, di ba?
I think it's for me personally, ang nangyari is I realized, actually this came from a book that I read, The Dude and the Zen Master. And meron siyang quote doon na whatever people tell you you are, it's their opinion. And what you repeat in your head lang is, it's your opinion, man.
Yeah.
Kahit paano, that's your opinion, man. I don't agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do, but if for you I'm payatot, like that's your opinion.
Yeah.
Ganyan
It doesn't mean that what somebody says to you is law. Is a solid fact, diba? You can choose to accept it. You can choose to be offended by it, affected by it, or you can choose to just smile about it and live your life, move on.
Yeah.
Tapos, like,
Si Bianca Gonzalez, actually, we were talking about this. I remember, I think I was 29 pa back then. And she was saying, I really like turning 30. I think we were similar age. Tapos sabi
what
ko,
do you mean
"Bakit?"
you're a similar age now?
I think
30 ka pa rin ba?
That time.
I'm joking.
I'm
kidding.
You keep on joking about my age. I keep joking about your height.
Yeah. Ganyan
You're getting
talaga ang
older,
buhay.
but I'm not getting shorter.
Am I getting shorter? Excuse me. Possible
Hindi
ba
natin
yun?
alam. Kumain ka ng maraming calcium.
Bakit? Bad ba ang maging short? Love, are you saying all the people listening in this podcast na short?
That's my opinion, man.
Kasi for me, I love being short, ha? I love being petite. Sige, go on.
No, I was talking to Bianca and she said na, I love turning 30. At that time, I feel like kasi mas mabilis mag-mature ang mga girls. Sabi niya, because turning 30, parang mas wala ka ng pakialam sa world.
It's so true.
But for me, I wasn't there yet that time when we were talking about
okay.
this. You know, there's just people that you have deep conversations with, like very intellectual. Bianca is one of those people. So, parang we were talking about it. Hindi ko talaga magets.
Okay.
Like, how can you, like, all of a sudden turn a certain age and just accept who you are?
Okay.
But it's true. I
It's
can't
true.
say for certain what age, but there comes a time where, yeah, this is me. This is exactly who I am. I'm not good at, sabihin na natin, comedy. I'm a fairly semi-serious guy. I'm a fairly geeky guy. And I accept it.
Right.
We're not trying to be the cool kids anymore.
Right.
And I think that's when you settle down, mas kumalma na yung mga self-criticisms mo because you're not trying to be someone you're not.
Right. When you accept the fact that there's space in this world for everyone, different kinds of people. Kasi kung lahat ng tao sa mundo, cool kid, di ba? Parang ka maging cool kung lahat naman kayo cool, di ba?
Yeah.
Also, for me, that age, to Bianca, it was 30. To me, it was, what age was I when we got married? That was the age.
Like on the day that we got married.
Not on the day, but it was around that time when we got married na parang I fully accept who I am now. Like, I get it. It really happened to me.
Okay.
That's why I feel like when you asked me before, like, what was the turning point? I think you asked me some question like that. Like, what was the turning point? And I always say, it was when we got married. It's not because I got married per se, but because it was around the time when I fully accepted myself na, okay, I'm not,
A fashion girl.
yeah, I'm not a fashion girl. I don't like fashion week, but I like fashion. Okay, it can be, that's
simple
possible.
fashion.
Yeah, or like, I can be in Cebu and all my peers can be in Manila. I can turn down a lot of opportunities. Okay lang sa akin. I like my life here. Success to me isn't just like being number one in all these things. Parang, you accept that success is different for everyone else. Beauty is different for everyone else. And everybody has different goals. Parang, why?
Yeah. Just continue.
Yun.
I was just saying that, I was just thinking na maybe yung turning point mo is because you found the one.
Ay, nako. Ito rin yung joke mo last time. Pero ito na nga, in-explain ko, hindi. It was just really a turning point. And I agree with Bianca. And I was just talking to our midwife earlier.
Yeah.
I was sitting down on the floor and I said, her name's Doreen. I was like, Dor, sakit lagi ang akong legs. Mulingkod ko gingani, which means my legs hurt when I sit in a certain way. And then she said, Ma'am, that's not even it yet. Sabi nga nila, life begins at 30. Sabi niya, she told me that kanina. I'm like, oh my God. She's 48 now. Yeah.
But I remember when I think the insecurities that we have when we were younger is beneficial if you can turn that energy into something that drives you to do something about it.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I was super insecure with the way I looked growing up. And because of that...
You had plastic surgery.
No, I became good at makeup.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
I became good at makeup.
Yeah. I was super insecure about not being able to talk to people. Girls especially. So, yun, I started going out even though how painful it was, painfully awkward it was. I started going out, meeting new people.
Right.
And I think I wouldn't walk the way I walk, talk the way I talk right now if it wasn't for that experience also. I would keep to myself more, siguro.
Yeah.
So, with all these insecurities, yin and yang lang kasi yun eh. You can use that to propel
Fuel.
you
Right.
further.
Right.
Yeah. You spark that motivation. Kailangan tayo may motivational speech.
Sige nga, ano yung motivational speech mo for
Like-
all the viewers? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, on the spot, go!
I really believe that everyone has a superpower.
Uh-huh.
And that superpower is uniquely you.
Galing ah.
Oh,
Sige,
ang bilis
go.
na, ang
Ang
bilis
bilis. How long ago have you thought of this? Like, nag-prepare ka ba before this
Oo,
talk?
marami na akong pinaghandaan na TED Talks. But yeah, I really believe that everyone has a superpower. And that is what creates this new world that we have in YouTube and social media. Mas nakikita natin na the people that succeed are from very different walks of life. Some people are good with nagpapatawa, or some people are good with, like me, construction. Like, I thought that it was a normal thing.
Right.
To know your way around the house.
And then when you met me,
Yeah, and then when I met you, yung parang, this is not normal. This is
like, how do you fix this? I have to call the plumber. What are you talking about? Doing it yourself? Talaga?
It's leaking. We have to call the plumber. No, it's just screwing it in. Like, what?
Like, where do you screw? It's so confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why mas na-accept ko yung superpower ko. Sabihin na natin.
Madami kang superpower, hindi lang maging handyman lang.
Oo, yung having a really good wife is my superpower.
Totoo. Buti na-realize mo yun. Ay, nako. I don't know why we're just patting our own backs here.
Behind every great man, di ba? Sabi nila.
Yeah, it's Kryz.
So I'm complimenting myself. Like, it's Kryz.
Ay, nako.
But yeah, I think that's when I realized na, hey, I have something to contribute.
Yeah.
Kasi these are things when we are growing up na akala mo is normal. It's
Right.
like, because you're exposed to it 24/7 all day long. So you would think na, ganito pala ang life. Like, about construction. That's normal.
Right.
Like for you were brought up na, alam mo na yung mga kikay-kikay things. Like,
Right.
your sister taught you this. And mahilig ka sa skincare. But I'm sure there was a point in your life where you thought that it was fairly common knowledge.
Yeah, like sometimes I can't explain thoroughly to other people who are new to the subject because feeling ko alam na nila.
Yeah.
So parang bits and pieces lang yung masabi ko, but yun pala, like they know nothing from zero. And to me, it's like, what are you talking about? This is something your mom teaches you.
Oh,
It's really different. Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of things that we think that we're normal, but I feel like no one is really, really normal.
Yeah, and I feel like I learned that a lot from being online, like blogging, putting myself out there, and I felt that was so parang wala lang, shallow, outfits, makeup, pa-cute lang. And then when I get these emails from people around the world saying na Kryz, grabe, parang thank you so much for being you, for inspiring me to be kikay because, you know, I've been dealing with so many things. And then when I look at you, parang, oh, it's okay pala to be maarte. It's okay pala to
Yeah, even my mom
show that,
told you.
Yeah, to show that you like these things. Parang, to make yourself happy, it's okay. Self-love, parang, diba? So, you don't know who you can touch
Yeah.
by just being yourself.
Like, dati, when we were first dating, you taught me about photography and Instagram and ano. But for you, it was so normal to see the difference between a good photo or a bad photo.
Yeah, right.
Like, para sa akin, why is my photo bad? I can't figure it out.
Right. And so you studied it.
And so you taught me.
I taught you, and then you studied it and
So
went
and
like
then I became
overdrive.
better than you.
And then now you're like Master Slater of all the gear.
I think
Intense.
I think more than the craft, I like the gear.
Yeah.
Because I'm an engineer guy. I like things.
Yeah. And now, like, even though I'm the one who taught you, I'm the one taking photos with a cell phone, and you're the one taking photos with the fancy equipment.
Crazy.
Yeah, grabe. But that's fun. Like, the journey of life, no? Like,
Yeah,
looking
and-
back at our insecurities, how it is now.
Yeah, and talking about these mga photos, I feel like we have to embrace our eccentricities. The things that make us different or the things that make us weird is where you'd probably find your uniqueness.
Yeah, that's your niche. You find your own market.
Gawa na ako ng book. Find your superpower.
But that's really true. Kasi a lot of the times when we're younger, we try our best to fit into the mold, to be like everyone else. Sometimes we even try our best not to stand out, diba?
Yes.
Because parang, I just want to blend in. I just want to fit in with my peers.
And there's certain cultures that embrace standing out. And some cultures, like, depende sa school, like, parang if you're weird, you get bullied, which is
Yeah.
very toxic,
Yeah.
I feel.
I feel like I would like Scott to go to a school where they really parang put emphasis on individualism. Because now, for example, let's say you want to start a blog, but you don't know, like, you don't accept what is unique about you. So you're just copying all the vloggers out there. Or let's say you want to be famous on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're just copying all the Instagrammers who put like sexy photos or travel photos or whatever, di ba? Why will I follow you? Ang dami-dami ng tao doon, di ba? Ang dami-dami ng tao nagpo-post ng the same thing.
Yes.
But if you're weird, let's say you're funny or you're strange or like there's just something different about you,
Yeah.
then I'll follow you because nobody else has that, right?
But just because you're weird doesn't mean a lot of people will follow you. But a lot of the people that can relate to you,
A lot of the people who are weird also.
yes, will be able to follow you. And we're all weird in our own little way.
Yeah. Me especially, right, love?
How weird are you?
Sometimes I ask later, like, now that we're married, do you wish that you could sometimes take back our marriage because I'm so weird? Like, parang nalabas ko na lahat ng weirdness ko sa'yo.
Yeah, yung mga nakikita nyo, guys, it's not the real Kryz.
I'm really weird, but it's okay. I accept it. I am uniquely me. That's my superhero power.
Wow.
Diba? Diba?
Yeah. The liking of the sagging is your superhero power.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I was a superhero, my name will be Saging Girl. Bati ay. Banana Queen. Sige pa. Banana Girl.
Banana Girl, intro. Pagpasok mo, banana na.
And then my sword is Banana Q. Bati ah.
Puso ng saging.
That's my wings. My cape. The banana leaf. Ay,
Ano na
nako.
to?
Sabi ko sa'yo, weird tayo eh.
And with that, guys, we encourage you to embrace what makes you unique, to find that which makes you special, and really lean into it.
You are perfectly imperfect.
Yes.
And you need to love everything about you.
Yeah. And by accepting your insecurities, make it do your bidding.
Do you, be you. Ano sa patong last? I forgot.
Do you be
Ninot na ta kay ba niya?
I don't know.
Anyway, guys, you get the point. Good night.
Good night, guys.